Well, hello everybody, welcome back to my Let's Play Spellforce. This is episode 201 and we are about to advance the main campaign. Have a little chatty with him. He's going to call the rest of the group together and we're going to see what's going to happen.
Ah, there you are. I was wondering when you'd come to talk. Ready to discuss our further actions?
I said give me a moment before because I wanted to see if I could hand some quests over there, but apparently I don't have enough, so I am, why am I saying let? I am, let's call the others.
I am. Let's call the others.
Good.
See what's going on now with the main quest.
Good. Let us begin. Now that House Leonida is taken care of, we can finally think about the last step in our plan.
Unite the houses. Wolfgar, Hallet, and Utran.
Okay.
Yes, now you might think that this will be easy,
Don't know.
but it won't be.
Tell me.
The only ally we have for certain is House Utran,
Okay.
thanks to my sister.
So what's the plan? We'll probably need to arrange for some kind of conclave, right?
Correct. I've already put thought into this, and I think it should take place on neutral grounds.
That makes sense.
The Eye, to be precise.
I see.
Now that Amaria Leonida is gone, the marshlands are practically no man's land again.
Okay.
If you agree to this, we will send out couriers to inform House Hallet and House Wolfgar of this conclave. Then we need to do all in our power to convince them to join forces with us.
Oh yeah.
But why do you expect this to be complicated? We have a common enemy, so joining forces is the only thing that makes sense, isn't it?
Theoretically, yes.
Take a screenshot of this.
But let me explain. Lord Shane Wolfgar, the head of House Wolfgar, didn't have an heir except for one daughter who fought in the Mage Wars. She died in the final battle in the span because House Hallet didn't send the reinforcements they promised.
They also air because reinforcements don't arrive in time. Who else will come from their side? That could be tricky. Why?
Why?
Because it would have been suicide. The Wolfgar troops were circled, and they were being butchered. From a strategical viewpoint, it made complete sense. Of course, Shane Wolfgar sees it differently.
Damn it. A feud.
Correct. House Wolfgar despises House Hallet, particularly Lord Shane. His brother Ulrich is more reasonable, but he's not in charge.
Can't we just tell these Wolfgar folks to go to the Claws of Nor if they're so complicated? Wouldn't an alliance between us, House Utran, and House Hallet suffice?
It might, or it might not. Also, Lord Wayland Hallet might be more reasonable and less complicated, but he's still a lord. Whatever profit he can make of the situation, he will go for it without hesitation.
Okay.
I guess what I'm trying to say, it will be complicated.
Who said to start?
You will have to make choices, and they may greatly
course.
affect how our
Oh,
final battle against the Purity will unfold.
Alright then, so apparently I'm going to be picking between one, so... the only thing I don't like with this type of game, because I love Spellforce, some of the lore, because they have so much unique, weird names, like Urak and all that stuff. When you make a choice like this, hopefully the game will give me the proper information. Yes, it's just told it me, but I'm not going to remember that when I come to it. It's like, okay, Urak, was he the Lord or was he not? You know? So hopefully I'll be able to double check that stuff before we make the decision. I hate it when games give you a big long thing, even longer than this, and at the end of it, now you need to decide and just give you a couple of names. You're like, I was supposed to pick names out of that stuff. Sugar. Actually, technically had that with Pillars recently, but luckily with Pillars, they got a nice little, like a Wikipedia thing for Pillars in the top thingy, so I could read about all the gods, and I went through that, if you've been watching that. Actually, scratch that. You've not been watching that for the simple reason that, as I'm recording this on the 9th of August, this episode is, I believe, Mondays or Tuesdays next week. And the Pillars I'm doing, I'm about a month ahead. So more likely that particular episode will be coming out, like, maybe next month or the month after. Because as you know, I've been trying to push my stuff all the way to October to get done in time, and it looks like I'm not going to get done in time. Oh yeah, and the main reason, one big thing that's happening in October, what I'm trying to keep private right now, it's a personal thing, and something that's happened in December, where I already talked about, that I'm moving house. Well, guess what, we had some really bad news yesterday. Apparently... They can't find labourers, that's what I'm looking at, workers, builders, whatever you want to call them, to finish it. In other words, now the estimate is the end of January, start of February. Completely screws up everything we've been planning and also stuff for the channel. Because my goal, roughly, try to get everything done by October. Looks like I was going to go into October a little bit, maybe December, have everything done to April. We move in house in December, so obviously, other than tweeting stuff, what I am actually behind on, making thumbnails and tweeting, and I'm way behind on that. Other than doing that, I had plenty of time to move our stuff, you know, to get settled in, to get the new routine, and then I was hoping by the end of February I would start up with the channel properly again. Obviously, you've got stuff to April, so it doesn't really matter to you at this point. And I can start a good routine in my new house, where we live in, our new life, so to speak, yada yada. And I would actually start to incorporate Twitch as well. So I was hoping by the time, you know, the April stuff is going out, I'm already back working from, you know, through March for you. And so you won't see any difference. Other than, hopefully I can start doing Twitch on the side, what would be brilliant. Well now, if we're not moving into February, because one of the big things where we are right now, is I can't do Twitch. Because as you know, on the channel, I get a lot of banging, screaming and stuff that's out of control from the ones upstairs, right above us, and it's horrible. And it means if I'm doing it live, it's basically, it's on there all the time. If I'm doing it on the YouTube, I can generally cut it out, or even it's more frustrating, it takes longer because, like, oh, this 15-minute episode, I've got 3 things I've got to find I cut out of it now. Brilliant. Makes it take longer. Also, as it happens, instead of just stopping recording, I generally just wait for 3-4 minutes or 5 minutes, however long it takes. Normally, if they stop, that's still recording, because it's then easier when I come to edit it to line them up with the speech for the whole episode, than having 3, 4, whatever different recordings I have to then line up every single time. You see what I'm getting at? Even though the bad thing with that is the way I do it, it uses my memory up. So it's like catch-22, isn't it? And I was hoping I'll have a lot less mistakes when I finally move in and set up properly and all that stuff. But obviously now everything's going to get pushed back because we can't move into February. They said that's estimated to be in February. That means it's probably going to be near the end of going into March before we got everything moved properly and we're settled in. And now I'm supposed to be starting back to work then, but we've got to get stuff arranged in the house. We've got to get this sorted out. We've got to get a fence put up. We've got to get, you know, etc. And it's like, oh, I'm supposed to be starting back to work, but I haven't even ordered the things from Amazon at this point, you know, for soundproofing. And so at that point, I'm looking at now, oh, probably I'm going to add 2 months to that. So even though Galciv 3 is completely done to April, Ash is completely done to April, I kind of need them to push into probably 2 months after now. What sucks. Meaning I ain't going to be able to stop in October, even though we got this other personal thing happening. What sucks. And I'm probably going to be working all through December now, instead of, I'm supposed to have that off to help with the move and everything. So there's a lot of things going on with me right now. It's going to mess with the channel a bit. Hopefully you won't notice it too much, because if I can stay on top of it, but still it's make everything a lot harder this year for me. And then instead of next year starting off and being awesome and brilliant, it's starting off pretty already, and it's not even got there yet. Well, it's brilliant, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, that's sarcastic, obviously you've probably gathered. So yeah, so that's the gist of what's going on now. So yeah, while I'm looking at Galciv though, I'm thinking more likely that'll be the last thing I go back to, because I'm really hoping they run out in April. We will actually have Galciv 4 on Steam out. And then if it is, then I'm going to move straight to Galciv 4 at this point. If it's not, I'll have to do some extra Galciv 3s, but I kind of just want to go straight to Galciv 4. So, obviously it's already on Epic, but I'm waiting for it to get to Steam. I don't want to mess around with Epic. I've gone through the story of why I don't really like Epic. I want to do much with them, because I feel that a very quick gist is that they've always messed customers around, and I've been messed around by them on multiple occasions. It's not been, oh, the Epic, your bad end of it. It's the way they've gone about stuff. You know, buying a Kickstarter that's already taken people's money, and they're specifically getting Steam Key. Now, you can't have your Steam Key, you've got to wait a year for it, and basically all the people who backed it, oh yeah, we don't care about you, just get a refund. Even though without you, that game wouldn't even been started, because you don't have the money for it to begin with. Like with Stardock, I've got nothing against them going to Epic as their decision, because they did not take pre-orders money for Galciv 4 in any shape or form first. If they did, then I'd be, no, that's wrong. They didn't. It's their decision to do it. I do feel a little bit their whole reasoning is less people are on Epic, so they have a smaller community to help give feedback for the game. The fact that they don't have any forums, so in other words, so people be dedicated to their forums. In other words, what that's telling me is we're using Epic over Steam because Epic isn't as good. That's the gist what I'm getting from it. I don't think that's what they mean, but they're more likely as well. Epic's probably give them a bunch of money to do it too. But at least, like I said with them, just like the Total War game, I give them credit as well. The one that's just come out on Steam, I'm hoping to put on my take a look at soon. Finally got it when it came on Steam. What's it called? The Greek one. I've gone Troy. Both of them did not take money or pre-orders beforehand. Were not Kickstarter or anything beforehand. So it's just, to me, just you've gone to someone I don't trust. You'll be here in a year, and then I can play you. Where other games that I finally picked up, Phoenix Point was the one I was talking about, the Kickstarter. Shenmue 3 did the same thing. MechWarrior also the same thing. Technically, Metro did it too. Even though with Metro, at least giving me a week to, and you still pre-ordered, still keep it on Steam, and I did that. But I felt they all messed their customers around, and they shouldn't have done that because they were already advertising, already taking money, already getting backed by Kickstarters or just pre-orders, whatever. All of them were doing that already, and people were doing that thinking there's going to be a Steam key. I'm paying for a Steam key, and to me that's wrong. You shouldn't be doing that. And then, oh, by the way, you're coming out a year from now. Well, technically we're on Epic, so if you want to play it, you can, but you're going to have to basically stick with Epic, and you won't be able to transfer across and all this rubbish. And so that's why I don't trust Epic. I don't really want to use their stuff, what matter what. And I was really disappointed when Stardock went to them. But again, I cannot fault them like I can with some of the other games, like Total War. If they had decided to do that with Warhammer 3 on Epic for a year, I would have been through the roof and back. Because at that point, it's like, you've got Warhammer 1 exclusive to Steam, Warhammer 2 exclusive to Steam, you're now bringing them across to Epic. That's fair enough, fair dues, you're already over here. But then if you make 3 exclusive to Epic, bull rubbish. Then everyone, because at this point, everyone who's bought Warhammer before them two have gone across to Epic, can only ever have it on Steam. And now you're splitting the trilogy up. You're splitting the fact that you need all 3 games to make the big Mortal, whatever they're going to call the new version of the Mortal Empire thing for Game 3. Like, no. But giving them fair, they didn't do it. Warhammer is going to both on the same day. That is fair enough. And of course, their other Total War was a standalone one. They went over there for a year. It's a little annoying they gave it them free for 24 hours. And then when it comes to Steam, you know, it's a year later, it's over a year old game. Oh yeah, you've got to pay for the thing. I did find that a little bit on the... I feel like it's a year older. You should really give it us 24 hours for free. You know, or at least 40 hours since it's a year old game, but... And then, of course, you get money hours for getting the extra DLCs you've added. Instead, we have to, even though, yes, it's cheaper than it's a proper original price, but again, what's cheaper than free? So in that sense, it's not cheaper than the original price. Like, they're like, oh, you get the full thing, you're 40% off. Well, technically, Epic got it for free. And then, yes, they also then got Amazon for free, and it's just a new DLC they have to pay for. So, technically, this is going to be cheaper. But anyway, I ended up going to it, didn't I? I keep doing this, don't I? I've noticed in these last few episodes, I guess because my most recent thing, with things happened, I was just kind of going into little rants. So again, I apologise about it, but that's my reasoning why I don't like Epic. Because I see a lot of people will write in forums if someone goes, they don't like Epic. Well, that's because you're in the bandweb again. How can you not like free? And just not look into the other details. I have personal things, what they have, into my eyes, have done with games I've been really interested in or I've backed, etc, etc. Because I had to get a refund with MechWarrior because of the whole situation. But MechWarrior at least gave 30 plus days for it. And at least on their side, why I rebought it a year late. Well, sorry, a year and almost 6 months later. Because it didn't come out a year later, did it? Came out like almost 6 months later. I finally bought it when it came to Steam. And at least with them, they said if you already pre-ordered, you get stuff for online, the MechWarrior Online. And if we will give you a refund if you want it. And as you get the refund, you get to keep it. If you already spent the stuff online, that stuff. So I got to keep that stuff. So theoretically, they still made some money off me because I used that to buy 2 mechs and I had half an amount or a quarter amount, whatever it was, I can't remember that amount, towards a 3rd mech I wanted. So I ended up adding a tenner, basically $10 to get that last mech. So theoretically, even though I got a refund, I still gave them $10 for the online thing. And that. And then now it's supposed to be out in December, so brilliant. And then I was like, oh, Sidepush coming out, to me, a completely different game, but whatever. We're now going to put it 6 months later. Well, I thought that was a little silly, but so, yeah, for their version, it was like a year, 6 months. But I finally picked it up. I haven't played it yet. Because I've been waiting to put up my Take a Look At series, and I've just been so busy with everything else, I haven't got to it. Speaking of it, it might come up soon, because I want to do Humankind with Supernova Tiffy. We have not been able to get together and do it. My last Take a Look went up last week. Obviously, I just told you I found the information about the house yesterday. Completely threw me for a loop. So I was supposed to finish these Spellforces off yesterday, and I didn't. Today's supposed to be focusing on take a look at, or my IWD pay-per-view. What I'm up to next. Probably going to end up doing take a look at Friday, and it goes up Saturday. My goal is to knock out 4, and then hopefully after that, over the next 4 weeks, to get some more caught up, and then maybe I can sit down with Notifi finally, and we get the Humankind stuff put up for it. But I was looking at one of my possible games of doing is Phoenix Point, one of the epic ones, what I finally got. Mech Warrior, again, one of the epic ones I finally got. There'll seem to be that. Troy, so tell what epic one I finally got. Or, I was thinking of actually doing Elemental. The simple reason I've had Social King on my channel. I've never played the Heroes one on my channel. You know, I used to love it when it came out. They patched it. Almost like, I don't know, what was the last patch, 2 years ago? 3 years ago? It's an old game now. So I might have to do an episode or 2 on that. And put that on the channel. So, like I said, I want to, if I have time to do 4 episodes, we'll take a look at probably tomorrow or Friday. So if I get all them done in time, they're probably more likely the choices I'm going to pick. And also I've seen this Vampire Arena Blood game come out too. It's free to play on Steam. I'd be interested in doing that possibly. So I might have a look at that too. So they're probably my ideas for the next 4 weeks of take a look at. Possibly one of them. So if you're interested in them, keep an eye on the channel. One of them might be popping up, or a couple of them might. Like I might just do it's not Social King, but the Elemental one. And I might just do it for 3 episodes or 4 episodes straight. Or I might just do 1 episode and then jump onto Troy for an episode. I don't know. I'll see how it goes. And obviously keep an eye out if you're interested in Humankind, because I am eventually, when I get time, assuming with Tiffy, going to sit down, we're going to do a double multiplayer game on the Take a Look At. Probably do over 6 or 8 weeks on my Take a Look At series for it, so probably about 2 months of it. Depending how quickly the game goes and ends. So again, that's my gist of everything, what's going on with the channel right now, and where I'm up to with certain stuff, and yeah, and how my Twitch might be delayed now, because it absolutely sucks. Going from 1st December was the absolutely last point we're supposed to be getting to the house, and they actually estimated us 2 weeks ago. I think it was the 26th November, so it was about a week early. Now to, oh yeah, late January, early February. Yeah. So yeah, I'm very disappointed, because I can't wait to get out of this place. So if you can't wait, obviously the thing that's happening in October, what I don't want to talk about until that's 100% guaranteed. You know, it should be at this point, but I don't want to jinx nothing. Was supposed to. There's one whole reason why we've been trying to move for ages, but there's one whole reason why we were looking forward to moving even more so, because there's just no space where we are right now, and it's going to be horrible when that thing takes place. And I've got to be here for 4 months now instead of a month, basically. Because they also, when we first got the house being built, oh, well, you would do it 1st December as the minimum. It'd probably be done by October or even sooner. And of course, with the pandemic and everything, yeah. That's another reason why I want to move, because of that. We're around people, like, we're trying to be safe as possible. I mean, super safe. Like, we only go out when we have to. We have masks on. We only go when we're quick as possible. Get back as soon as we can. Like, and that. And then the ones we live with don't feel like they don't give a flying, basically. And it sucks, because we live in the same house, even though technically they're above us, we're under us. You still have to pass them, you still have to see them now and again. Of course, in America they've got the, what do you call it? Not the central heating, the cooling air stuff. I forgot what they call it over here. Aircon, whatever, through the whole house. It's just like extra worries every single day that we don't want to be dealing with. Whether in our house with just me, Sumo, Tiffy, you know, basically our family only, we don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about, oh, random stranger coming to the house because the other people let on. Even though they've sit here and I think it's a load of bull, tell us that, oh, COVID is fake. What's a load of rubbish. And another reason why it scares me so much, as I've also mentioned on the channel way in the past, it depends on what you're watching, my dad actually died of swine flu. And on the news at the time, that's back in 2010, all the news telling everybody swine flu, unless you're super young or super old, basically it's really safe. In other words, my dad's age, he was 48 when he passed, and he literally 6 months ago had a a full physical, completely healthy. And basically I ended up really ill. My mum ended up really ill. My dad ended up really ill. I got over it. My dad looked like he was getting over it. Then my mum was getting over it. Then my dad got really ill again. And next thing I know, I'm cold. I go back. My first day back at work, actually, because I was off like 3 or 4 weeks because I was so ill. My first day back at work, I get cold. We got to come home now. Got to come home. And then I'm told by my aunt, my dad's dead in the car. I get into the house, devastated, rush in to find mum. He's still there. They've got, like, you know, ambulances, and I don't even know who else was there. And obviously paramedics and stuff, I'm assuming. I just kind of blanked them. And my dad was on the city where apparently he was found, eyes open, empty. It was horrible. I've at that point in 2010, I've already been over to America, met Tiffy for 3 weeks. And we officially started going out. So I ran back upstairs to my bedroom, computer on, webcam in like mad, Tiffy, you know, my dad's passed. She couldn't believe it. I was shocked. It was horrible. But my point, my point of it is, that is something that was told it's safe. COVID, everyone tells us how dangerous it is, how easy it spreads. Swine flu wasn't supposed to be like that. I lost my dad over it. And also the doctor said, there's no way of proving it, but he thinks me and my mum also had it, but how ill we were. But we obviously fought past it. And so that's why I think it's stupid when people sit there and tell us, oh, it's fake. Especially when they use the thing, oh, especially in America, our government's used to control us. That's acting as if your government runs the world. That's not the case. It's happening in Britain, it's happening in Italy, it's happening in most places. There's only 1 or 2 countries where it really is happening because basically they were smart about it initially and it hasn't really spread to them. There's only a couple of places. But basically it's the whole world in general. So it's not just about your country. Your country isn't ruling the world. And so when you sit there and say it's fake, firstly I take it as an insult because I feel like... So if people out there dying in droves compared to swine flu, and yet my dad died of that, but you're saying they're fake, so they're not really dying, what to me is nasty to them people to begin with. That means you're also saying that my dad's swine flu was fake, because at the end of the day, COVID is supposed to be a hell lot worse than swine flu. But no one's dying of that because it's fake according to these people out there. So that means my dad died of something that's fake, but something that wasn't as bad as swine flu. You see what my point is? Why I think it's stupid when people say that. Like, everyone's entitled to their own opinion and stuff, and I understand that, but sometimes people just need to get out of their own little bubble and stop being so selfish. Look out of the world and see, yes, there's people dying. Well, it's not affecting my family personally right now, but so what? It still affects so-and-so down the street who's just lost their mum, just lost their dad, like I lost my dad for swine flu. You know? That affects you. Someone's in a car accident, that affects that person. You know, and obviously, them in a car accident, as long as you're not involved in it, you've got nothing to do with that. You couldn't prevent that in any shape or form, but when it comes to COVID, you can. Just basically a little common sense. Wear a mask. You know, sort of thing. That sort of thing. Go out as little as possible. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just little things. Just a little. And if you don't want to wear a mask, then just stay in your own area. Stay away from other people who are. Don't have a go at them because they want to wear one. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just, yeah. Again, I apologise. I don't know why I keep doing this the last few episodes. I just kind of, I guess I've just been really down, and it's my outlet to you, and it's not supposed to be a blog, but I guess they turned it into, haven't they, slightly. So I really apologise about that, and hope you don't mind, or you understand where I'm coming from if you're watching this episode, and you're like, I want you to go through this stuff. At 23 minutes, I might go to like 30, and we'll go through this stuff for you, so do that. For that reason. But yeah, that's the gist of the channel, that's the gist of my views right now on the situation with the COVID and why I don't like living here with the people. But we can't leave because literally we're putting every single penny we've got into the down payment so we can get to our house. So it's not like, oh, we're just going to go to a hotel for the next month or something. If we do that, there's a down payment for the house gone. So, anyway, where were we? I guess what I'm trying to say, it will be... I can see it. Move it over. Complicated. You will have to make choices, and they may greatly affect how your final battle against impurity will unfold. And that's what I feel like in real life. Everyone's right now making choices, and again, they affect people depending on what you do. Swine flu, far as I know, didn't really affect anyone. Like, obviously it didn't to the extent of COVID. Like, you go up COVID and you pass it. Like I said, I don't know how we got it, but me, mum, and dad 100% had it. The way we were ill, doctor said we probably did too, but no way to prove it with me and mum. but he thinks we had it too. No one else we knew had it. So where the hell did it come from? Well, in that situation, it only affected us and, of course, my dad. 48 and that. But obviously, with COVID, you could have show no symptoms, go out there and give it to someone, and they end up unlucky. Well, you're lucky one that have no symptoms, and that person's unlucky. Next thing, they're dead, aren't they? They come down with symptoms, go home, accidentally don't realise it, pass it to their family. Yeah, it's just a horrible situation. But obviously, once we're in our own house, and it's just our family to worry about. We'll still, of course, wear masks when we go out and all that stuff, obviously. But I'm going to feel a lot more safer in the house because I don't have to worry about, oh, so-and-so decided what's the name who I've never even seen before, or what's the name who goes around saying it's fake, is coming into the house, and they never wear a mask, and like I said, it's just horrible. You know, so that'll make it easier when I'm doing the channel too, because I won't be so, anxious as well because of it. We'll have to deal with all the dogs going off. And again, I'm ranting. I apologise, let's get to this. But House Urta will stand with us, right?
But no matter how the negotiations go, House Utran will stand with us, right?
Yes. But again, Tahar, do not underestimate this battle. Without the support of these houses, we will lose men and women in the thousands.
So technically, what he's saying then, sticking to the game now, is when I get this decision, I could forgo them all and just go straight to the main battle and end it. But it's going to be so hard. But if I bring them in, they will lose lives because of me. But it'll be easier to do the match. Well, the final battle. Not match, final battle. Can't they see how important it is?
So you really think they will be unable to put their feuds and personal interests behind them in light of the threat we're facing? I can't believe that we'll have to waste time on this political nonsense while Arcane is committing genocide.
Yeah. Well, not everybody is as idealistic as you, Tahar. These are the facts, and we need to deal with them.
Am I even able to forge any kind of alliance? I'm not a noble.
Am I even entitled to forge any kind of alliance? I'm not a noble.
That's true. You're not. That's why House Utran will be the one who puts their signet under any eventual treaty you'll negotiate.
Okay. Well, seems that we have no choice unless we have.
Seems that we have no choice. Let's send out the couriers.
Good. My sister and the Utran army should probably march ahead and clear out spots for Wulfgar and Hallett to set up camp.
Okay.
You should travel there the day the conclave will take place.
Makes sense. All right. I'll let you know when we head out.
I'm kind of hoping this is going to be a proper decision. What I mean by that, I feel some of the points in the game haven't really given us that many decisions in Spellforce 3, and I really like these choices. Obviously, yes, I see somewhere in the maps like, oh, you go to do this side quest and get them on the side quests, and I think that has changed. I think that's how they do decisions. But it'd be nice if when we get there, we'll have a choice like, a bit like Pillars in a sense, and some of the other RPGs, where what you say is going to decide if they're convinced to join us or not. Also, what you've already done, like if you help them out earlier, they're more likely to join. So in other words, I completely go there, well, screw you then, and well, screw you back, and then they don't join. That sort of thing. It'd be nice if we can navigate a little talking speech thing to do it. What's that in there? Oh, it's the hole. So I guess something new to this, right? Let's go further. Let's go how to play. Can't do that from in here, so we have to go. Okay, that wasn't as long as I thought it was going to be. That's why I said I'll go to 30 for you, just to get that in. So what I'll probably do is go to the main map here, we'll save, and next episode we'll do this conclave thing, and I'll try not to go into a rant for you. And again, I apologise again for doing that, but it's just a lot of things right now. And once the October thing's dealt with, the personal thing, I can talk about it then. But I just don't really want to now, I just don't want to jinx stuff because of, again, something that happened in the past, so... I'm in the wrong place with you, aren't I? I'm supposed to be over here. Oopsie. And depending what episodes I'm up to, what I'll talk it on, because like I said, like these right now, I'm trying to push like 3 weeks ahead, and then jump up, push another 3 weeks ahead, so it might be December before I talk about it. Obviously, I won't be talking about the Gal Civ, that goes all the way to April. Well, Ashes, it's the same thing. Oh, speaking of Ashes, very quickly before we end the episode, didn't expect it. New DLC just came out for it, $2.99, not picked it up yet. Especially we're not planning to jump on Ashes for the channel because it's done loaded almost to March or April. But I might pick it up at a later date, especially in December or stuff. But it's apparently 5 or 6 new maps, apparently based on real life areas, And do you know how they're generally quite symmetry-wise, like symmetry, like a full circle sector or a square, whatever. They're generally not in a real-life location, so they're not going to have that. So you could be in a good... But apparently the resources, I was reading, the resources are put in an area to make it more fair, but technically I could be in the top corner with a really good defensible mark, someone could be in the left-hand corner, and they could basically have no defense versus someone who's right next to them, then someone in the right, you know what I'm saying? You know, like when we play Assets, normally if you look at the channel, when we pick the maps, they're normally very equal. Apparently not going to be, so that's actually going to be good, because them type maps are awesome. So, unless Ashes 2 is announced, and is out by that time, I'm more likely to have that DLC and be doing that as a skirmishes when I finally get back in next year to pushing it. Or I might even be pushing some this year for the simple reason I do have to push it for 2 months now. And why I say unless it gets announced, because I literally, if you watch my Gal Civ 3, I've done them months ago. And when I talked about Gal Civ 4 during them, it hadn't been announced. The only information I had was, I think, January? There was a Steam forum post by Brad, who's like the owner of StyleDoc, who mentioned that it was in the works, that was it. But nothing official. And literally when I finished them episodes off, I was like, I'm done! It's done to April now. About a week, maybe 2 after. It could have been 3 weeks, I can't remember the exact thing. It wasn't long after I finished that, setting them up, it's like, Gal Civ 3 announced. I was like, no! Well, I was like, yes! But no, but the fact I've just done all them episodes and I've talked about, I will hope this has happened, I predict this will do, I would love this to happen. I think multiple times in them I also turned around and said like, oh, Gal Civ 3 probably won't be done, or if it's or announced until next year or the year after. And it gets literally announced like 3 weeks after I finished these. I was like, but I ain't gonna scrap all my episodes because I finally finished all the campaigns in it. So if you want to watch me finish the campaigns off, keep watching in Gal Civs. But obviously, if you're watching them and thinking like, oh, can't wait, I think Gal Civ will be 2-3 years from now coming out. Obviously, they'll sit there. Well, it's already out. What are you talking about? Because obviously, that was done a few months back before they announced it. Hopefully next year, and they go when I'm in my house, I'll then start trying to stay 2 or 3 weeks ahead all the time instead of trying to push 5 or 6, 9 months like I am right now. So I'll be more up to date with the stuff in that sense, and be able to stay on topics a bit better. But like I said, now I've got to push it to April, so it's probably up to past, no, not April, 2 months after April, isn't it? More likely, so I'll probably have to push past that. Okay, let's go to the... Boom. 32, so yeah, I need to end this one. I want to get through this loading screen for you, and I want to have the loading screen for the next one, because it might be something completely new, and the simple reason I don't want to get there and it instantly takes us a cutscene and they stop talking. Sometimes the game does that. And we're about to end, so let's just head and read where we're about to go, and then we'll end. And again, I apologise for the extra rants in this one, or blogs, or whatever you want to call them. Okay, so Melondia, so where's the actual place? The Eye, he said the Eye. So what does it state? The Eye owns its name, to the banner of the house white, okay, uneasy. Okay. So let's save it here and end the episode, and I'll click on that next episode. So please like, please subscribe, please share some of it. You've been awesome, thanks for watching, have a great wonderful day, and next time we'll hopefully just stick to the game. Bye everyone!